Hello, my friends. It was when I realized speaker's feet that I began to glimpse a communication with another dimension by the numbers. I found that whenever the number 95, which was the width of the square bar I had made in several versions with great difficulties as a speaker stand, appeared, there was a relationship to the sound system. I had to do something about the whole system, including the acoustic of the room. Then, over the years, several key numbers appeared, or rather not them. For example, one for me lived at 85 Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis. Her reference number was, and has remained, 85. Each time I see it, she's coming soon. The realistic speakers, although cheap, were not good enough. And when I felt ready after all these many tests, I went to the brand that I have not left since, Fostex, a Japanese prodigious, probably the best on the market for this kind of speaker. Having abandoned the printed circuit boards which I had experimented with for the construction of my speakers, I returned to more conventional thick wood shapes, trying out various sizes, 12 centimeters and 16 centimeters of these high quality speakers. As they were, I was not completely satisfied, and for years I continued my modifications concerning the rigidity of the arms of the saladier. That's the name given to the middle parts which support the magnet, the moving part of the copper coil, and the vibrating diaphragm. The aerodynamics, the parasitic vibrations, and the surface of all the diaphragms. I started a range of colors, from small to large, which I named according to their size: Baby, Junior, Mr. E, and Lady O. They didn't have a particularly human shape, except for an elongated silhouette, but it was enough for me to paint them with large stylized eyes in the spirit of comics, inspired by mine and Fumi's that she painted herself, for this box to gain a soul. I sold some of these floor-standing speakers with a single four-range driver per cabinet to two colleagues at the library where I still worked. Curiously, they had the same first name, Frederick, without consulting each other, not seeing each other. They each bought me two systems, one small and one large. Years later, I asked them if it was good that they had eyes, or if I should remove them in my new creations. Oh no! With the eyes, one has the impression of a presence, of not being alone. I did a lot of testing to develop my large character columns, Mr. E and Lady O. I opened and closed them frequently. I tried angle panels on the inside, forming a baffle to lengthen the sound path. It came out on the back, at the bottom, through a flat vent, forming a pavilion. I lined the interior with glass wool, foam, felt, carpet, etc. As it didn't fit fully, it was only average on every try, and had a lot of trouble getting to the bottom because of the baffles. I was forced to cut out the back to create a viewing panel. It was scratching my hand and forehands while taking off what I had glued so well, and my back was hurting while carrying these big pieces. The life of an artist, doing and doing, redoing. March 27, 1998. In my reflections that pushes me back and forth, I take up the idea of the polyhedral faceted ball that I had made out of printed circuit boards to create a speaker. This time, the panels are in wood with a better speaker of 16 centimeters. There will be a vent opening in a hollow fudge, flared, which will act as a horn to obtain a deep bass. I will study various forms. The interior of the volume is covered with carpet. Until June, I will try several possibilities. A lot of effort and work result both. In parallel, I study a more compact system with thick walls, whose shape cut a 45 degrees in front and behind on the top. Without me knowing it yet, approaches the final solution. I finally found the right shape for my singing robots, the Mr. A and Lady O sound sculptures. It is a fairly compact shape with a square section. The speaker is located in the middle of the volume to balance the internal pressures. The top form, a head, seen from the side, rounded by a flap out at 45 degrees in front and behind in order to better diffuse the vibrations in the space. The shape of the head also makes it possible to break the standing waves inside and a better flow of the sound wave down where there is a circular event in the middle of the panel. It will take me more years to determine what materials and in what thickness I should put inside and on the outside faces to control vibration. I've already tried needle punch, linoleum, carpet. There will be more. Then I have to find the base, the pedestal, the bottom half of the system. There is still a lot of work to do. The design of the characters Mr. A and Lady O takes its final shape. June 20th, 2001. For a long time, I knew that the optimal full-range loudspeaker was the 20 centimeter one. But I prefer to conduct my research with smaller diameters, much less expensive and requiring less wood and absorbent materials. This time, I feel ready and start the final phase. The difference is obvious. Much more presence, but at the same time, other acoustic defects appear. I am pursuing many anti-vibration tests under the tips, their connection with the enclosure, the electronic devices, etc. I looked in all directions. I even used plumbing materials. Finally, I found the shape base, the fit of Mr. E and Lady O. The result is very conclusive, but that's not enough. I still need to do a lot of research on the surface treatment. I would experiment with various materials, glued directly on the faces or sandwiched before finding a sound that satisfies me.